And finally tonight, the President of the United States is not well. He had two media appearances, one at the White House and one special interview with Jonathan Capehart of MSNBC or something. That doesn't matter. What matters is the President, not once, not twice, not three times, not four, 8 times, he freaked us all out because he's forgetting things or he's saying things wrong, or trust me, it's much more than a stutter. Here, we'll show it to you. Let's start with this first question from a guy who for a couple hundred days now has been dressing up like a girl on TikTok. Therefore, he apparently is an expert on womanhood. Here, watch.
Do you think states should have a right to ban gender-affirming health care?
I don't think any state or anybody should have the right to do that. As a moral question and as a legal question. I just think it's wrong.
Oh, it's a moral question. I do love it when devout Catholic Joe Biden lectures me on the morality of children's transgender procedures. Okay, so gender-affirming health care. It's a hell of a euphemism. Let's just break it down a bit. First of all, it doesn't actually affirm someone's gender. It does quite the opposite. It changes their gender. We used to call it sex change operations, but that sounds icky now. It's hormone blockers. And oh, by the way, puberty blockers. So, quick test. Who needs puberty blockers if they're going through gender-affirming care? Children. Right? Because it's children who go through puberty. So any legislation right now that might actually pump the brakes on this whole sex change craze that's going on right now, it has to do with children. And it has to do with making sure that these decisions are made behind parents' backs. But that's okay. The president is on board with it. I'd love to have a follow-up and say, excuse me, while we're at it, do you have any idea what gender-affirming care even means? Short answer, he doesn't. How do I know? Well, watch this, what he says about gun control legislation.
My legislation says there can be no more than 8 bullets in a round, okay?
8 bullets in a round. I think we can all live with that. And then, hey, remember that time during the 2020 campaign when Joe Biden promised that he would take our tax dollars and give it to third world nations if they stopped using coal? No, he never said that because he never would have been elected. He said it now.
So we have to, the industrialized world has to not only clean up our act, but we've got to help these countries do what they need to do without further hurting the environment. And we have to pay them, in my view. We have to compensate them for what they're doing.
Sure. We got to compensate them. We got to pay them. We got to bribe them. Luckily, though, our economy is in such great shape that we've got a lot of money lying around so we can give it to any country in the planet. Oh, no, wait, that's not the case at all. Then, of course, inevitably, the conversation turned to abortion, and, well, that didn't go well either.
Do you support a federal fund for individuals like myself who need to take time off work, obtain child care?
The answer is absolutely. But guess what? We need the same votes we need to overrule, to reinstate the decision that was struck down by the court. I mean, I do support that.
Hey, did you see what happened there? We have to reinstate the decision. He forgot Roe v. Wade. He forgot the name of the decision, Roe v. Wade. Imagine being an abortion enthusiast your entire 50-year political career, and you can't even remember Roe v. Wade. That's okay. He can't even remember the visits to the doctor he took his wife when she was pregnant. Watch.
Where they don't teach you OGBYN about the health and safety relative to pregnancy.
That's right. Don't forget to go to the OGBYN. And then he was bragging about his student loan executive order, you know, that forgave student loan debt. Here.
Secondly, if you don't have one of those loans, you just get $10,000 written off. It's passed. I got it passed by a vote or two.
He didn't get anything passed. It wasn't a bill. It wasn't a law. It was an executive action. But he even knows what the vote count was. Oh, and then that brings us to the interview. Here, watch.
For one, I think that we began to...
That actually, by comparison, is one of the more lucid moments, because then this happened.
I have not made that formal decision, but it's my intention. My intention to run again. And we have time to make that decision.
Dr. Biden is for it. Mr. President. Oh.
Dr. Biden thinks that, my wife thinks that we're doing something very important.
I think he forgot who Dr. Biden was. I mean, I don't blame him. We don't think of her as a doctor either, but did he fall asleep there? Everything's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. He's got the nuclear codes. That's it for tonight's O'Connor Tonight. We'll see you same place tomorrow. In the meantime, we'll see you on the radio.